He founded the Healing Church, he discovered the Old Blood, and he paid the ultimate price. The whole story pretty much centers around this character. His actions led to the downfall of many people and opened the door to what would become one of the darkest times of Yharnam. Another bizarre tale in the intense world of Bloodborne, and like many others, his story started out noble but ended tragically. Today we will be diving into the story of Laurence the First Vicar. So in the beginning, Laurence was a scholar at Bjergenworth, studying under Master Willem. Willem was known for looking at the so-called Great Ones for guidance on how far the human intellect can go. We find out through Alfred that one day a group of scholars discovered a holy medium deep within the Chalice dungeons. This holy medium was the Old Blood. This was a revolutionary discovery for the scholars and was seen as a miracle cure for all diseases. Willem feared the Old Blood and warned his students about using it. Willem sought evolution through insight while Laurence sought evolution through the Old Blood. Willem considered any student that wanted to use the Old Blood as a traitor, and while Laurence acknowledged the warnings of his master, he couldn't ignore or resist the qualities of the Old Blood, and because of this there was division in Bjergenworth, and Laurence, along with many others, would eventually separate from Bjergenworth, as seen from this known cutscene here.
Master Willem, I've come to bid you farewell.
Oh, I know. You think now to betray me.
No, but you will never listen. I tell you, I will not forget our adage.
We are born of the blood, made men by the blood, undone by the blood. Our eyes are yet to open.
Fear the Old Blood. I must take my leave.
By the gods, fear it, Laurence.
And after he left Bjergenworth, he founded the Healing Church in Yharnam and became the first vicar. The church eventually would have internal factions such as the choir and the School of Mensis, both of which sort of became separate from the church and both of which ended up just as corrupted as the church itself. After founding the church, Laurence showed the citizens the Old Blood and its healing properties. This excited and attracted many citizens, especially those that were ill. Many people would be injected with this Old Blood as sort of a ritual. Everyone in the city was beyond joyful with this miracle that was brought to them, but at some point, things became strange. So while the Old Blood had healing properties, it was also very addicting. So much distribution and usage of this substance began to happen. While the Healing Church did acknowledge Willem's warning, they were careless and kept using the blood, completely ignoring the consequences. This eventually led to the Beast Scourge, where many people eventually turned into horrible beasts due to the overconsumption of the Old Blood. Over time, more and more beasts began to pop up, and while Laurence and the Healing Church tried to control it, every attempt they made failed. Times were getting desperate for the church as they wanted to keep this under control and sort of cover all this up. This led to the creation of the Hunter's Dream. Contact was made with the Moon Presence in order to create this dream. This was supposed to be a place for hunters to forge their weapons and act as sort of a haven for them. And Gehrman was to stay in the dream and be sort of a guide for hunters, but this wasn't supposed to be permanent. Gehrman eventually became trapped in the dream, and as you play the game, you see that Gehrman is waiting for someone to set him free. Many other events transpired that showed how the Healing Church was becoming more and more corrupted. Some of the corrupted things they did was experiments on people in the research hall or the fishing hamlet massacre. Later down the line, Laurence begins to transform. He becomes a large flaming cleric beast and eventually gets sucked into the Hunter's Nightmare as punishment, and this is where we as the player first meet him. It is possible that he was the first cleric beast. Now we're going to talk about the actual boss fight. So as you navigate the Hunter's Nightmare, you eventually make your way to the cathedral where Laurence's flaming beast body is sitting there. The first encounter, he doesn't really do anything. You actually grab an item from him, and after progressing further in the game, you'll find Laurence's skull around the research hall. And when you go back to the cathedral and give it to him, Laurence begins to wake up and the fight begins. The fight is pretty intense. His reach is further than you think. I personally struggled with this boss fight the most. His attacks are brutal, so throughout this fight you'll need to time your dodges accordingly, and don't get too greedy with your attacks. Do not let him grab you. Once you get his first phase down, the second phase begins. In the second phase, it looks as if he's decaying. His legs give out and he begins crawling. That doesn't make it any easier because he has new attacks, one of which covers the area in lava. This phase can take some time, but as long as you can time your dodges and attack appropriately, you should be safe. You can kind of see the symbolism in this boss fight because he literally is burning for his sins, and he's found in the hunter's nightmare symbolizing his eternal punishment. Laurence was clearly an ambitious character. He was one of Byrgenwerth's best scholars and had many ideas of his own when it came to the transcendence of humanity. His intentions appear good at first, but at the same time he and the Healing Church were careless. It's a shame that the very thing he founded became corrupted and eventually led to his downfall, although he was warned repeatedly. We see the themes of ambition and guilt with Laurence. In the end, we see how his seeking of transcendence came at a price. Similar to many characters, we see how this started out with good intentions but quickly became something corrupted and something that would lead to a catastrophe. Laurence is indeed an interesting character who serves as almost the central point of the story. He was a man of much intellect and curiosity, but while he had those characteristics, his ambition practically blinded him and caused his downfall as well as many others. This concludes our video of Laurence the First Vicar. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more lore videos and gaming content. Until next time.
Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world.